Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're doing a deep dive today on something pretty wild. Google's planning to build 7 nuclear reactors.
7.
7. And you want to know why?
I'm assuming it has something to do with all the stuff we've been talking about with AI.
Exactly. To power all their AI ambitions.
Huh. That's crazy.
It really is. It shows just how much energy this whole AI revolution is going to need.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it takes a lot of power, but I don't think people realize just how much.
No, they don't.
Like, did you know that just asking ChatGPT a single question uses like 30 times more energy than a normal Google search?
30 times. Really?
Yeah, it's nuts.
Wow.
And if everyone started using AI as much as we use Google today, the energy demand would be like adding another whole US to the power grid.
Seriously.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
That's insane. So I guess it makes sense why Google's going nuclear then.
Yeah, Google's aiming to get the first reactor running this decade and then the rest by 2035.
So they're really going all in on this.
Oh, yeah. And they're not the only ones.
Wait, who else is doing this?
Well, Microsoft is actually getting involved in restarting 3 Mile Island.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, kind of ironic, right? A tech giant turning to the site of a nuclear accident for clean energy.
Yeah, you really can't make this stuff up. I guess it shows how badly they need clean energy.
Oh, absolutely. It's a two-pronged thing, really. One is obviously keeping up with AI's growing energy demands.
Right.
But the other is, well, everyone's trying to go green now,
Makes sense.
Lindsay Gorman, who's an expert in all this tech stuff, she says that nuclear energy is part of the solution for a cleaner future.
So it's not just about nuclear, it's about a mix of solutions.
Yeah, definitely. Like wind and solar are still super important.
Right.
It's more about having options, not putting all our eggs in one basket.
Makes sense. But, okay, I'm curious. Why does AI need so much power in the first place?
It all comes down to data. Like those big AI models like ChatGPT, they need tons and tons of information to work. It's like they're constantly reading the entire internet.
I've heard that before. But that doesn't seem very efficient. Like, does it really rescan the whole internet every time I ask a question?
It's not quite like that. Each question doesn't require rescanning everything, but building the initial model, that's where the energy drain is.
Oh, so it's more like building a huge library first and then searching through it.
Yeah, exactly. It's that initial setup that takes a crazy amount of power.
Okay, that makes more sense. But back to Google and their reactors. 7 sounds like a lot, but will that even be enough?
That's a good question. What happens when their AI gets even more powerful and needs even more energy?
Exactly. And what if they have too much energy? Could they start selling it to other companies or even like to people?
Now, that's interesting. And it kind of ties into what Lindsay Gorman was saying. She actually called AI the new oil.
Wow. And what does she mean by that?
She's basically saying that AI is going to be as important as oil was, like shaping global power and all that.
So controlling the energy for AI would be a huge deal.
Exactly. And it makes you think about like the whole future of technology and power and everything.
Yeah, this is where it gets really interesting.
It does. It really makes you wonder, what are the implications of all this?
It's a huge question.
Definitely. But let's dig into this a little deeper. So this whole AI is the new oil thing, it really makes you think,
It does. Like, if controlling oil has shaped the world so much, what happens when AI is the thing everyone wants?
Exactly. And the data, that's like the fuel for the AI engine. Whoever controls that could have a crazy amount of power.
It's kind of scary when you think about it that way.
Yeah, for sure. Like imagine if access to good healthcare or even jobs depended on which company's AI you used.
Whoa, that's a bit dark.
Yeah, it's something we need to be talking about. How do we make sure AI benefits everyone?
Definitely. We can't let it become another way for the rich and powerful to get even more powerful.
Right. It's like we're at this crossroads. AI could help us solve some big problems, but it could also create new ones.
Absolutely. Yeah. And this whole energy thing, it just makes those risks even bigger.
Oh, yeah, totally. Like if AI needs all this power, we better make sure it's clean power.
So wind, solar, even nuclear.
Yeah, all of that. It's not about choosing one. It's about having a mix of solutions.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it sounds like a lot of work.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's going to take governments, companies, researchers, everyone working together.
It feels like we almost need a global conversation about AI, Like, what are the rules? What's ethical?
100%. We got to figure out what kind of future we want with AI. How do we make sure it's fair?
And how do we make sure everyone has access to the benefits?
Yeah, exactly. And what's the role of energy in all this?
It's a lot of big questions.
Huge questions. And it feels like the longer we wait, the harder it'll be to answer them.
It's kind of like we're writing a story. And AI is this main character that could go in a lot of different directions.
That's a great way to put it. And the ending hasn't been written yet.
But the choices we make now will affect how the story ends.
Totally. We can still shape how this all plays out.
It's both exciting and scary at the same time.
It really is. So much to think about.
Yeah, we went from talking about how much power AI uses to like the entire future of the world.
I know, right? And we're just getting started.
This whole thing is a rabbit hole and we're going deeper.
And it's a rabbit hole everyone should be paying attention to.
Absolutely. So what do you think, listeners? Where is all this heading? It really is a whole new world, isn't it? AI and energy all mixed up together. Who knows what could happen?
It's like we're at the very beginning of something huge. Imagine, though, if just a few companies end up controlling all this.
All the AI and all the energy.
Exactly. That's a lot of power in the hands of, like, a tech elite.
Yeah, it could get kind of scary. Almost like, who do you work for? Which company's AI do you use? That determines what you get.
Yeah, think about it. Healthcare, education, jobs even. It could all depend on which AI system you're plugged into.
So what can we do? Is there a way to avoid that kind of future?
Well, it doesn't have to be just the big companies calling the shots. Governments can step up. Smaller companies can innovate too.
So more competition, more people involved.
Right. We could share the knowledge more, make sure everyone benefits from AI, not just a select few.
It sounds like open source is a big part of that too.
Definitely. If the code is out in the open, more people can contribute, build their own stuff, and nobody has a monopoly.
And all this runs on clean energy, ideally.
Exactly. That's got to be part of the plan from the get-go. AI for good, powered by good energy sources. Otherwise, what's the point?
It feels like a huge responsibility, though, to make sure we get this right.
Absolutely. This is a turning point, and what we do now matters. AI can be a force for good, but only if we're careful.
If it really is the new oil, we got to make sure we don't repeat the mistakes of the past.
Right. No more fighting over resources, no more pollution. We got to learn from history.
That's a lot to consider. But hey, that's what we're here for, right?
Yeah.
To explore these big ideas.
Exactly. And to get you all thinking, too. So tell us, what do you think? What kind of AI-powered future are you hoping for?
Let us know in the comments, and
Yeah.
let's keep this conversation going. This is just the beginning of a really, really important story.
It is. So thanks for joining us on the deep dive, everyone. Keep those brains buzzing, keep learning, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and share with friends.